Sahi nikisikia unapayuka at one time. Number one, inajua we ni fala and you don't want Kenya to develop, like you don't want Kenya to become Singapore. Yes. Na number two, najua you've never seen Talanta Stadium. Because my friend, if you've seen Talanta Stadium, you're going to vote for William Samoei Ruto. Unaenda kupigia Ruto kura. Kama umeona Talanta Stadium, you know what I'm talking about. Bro, that's some
world-class project. One term. Enyewe, if someone like this believes that Singapore became Singapore because they built a stadium, then sisi ni mafala, sindio? So Singapore became Singapore because they built systems, they built a global trade, they built things that are working, and they made sure that their people could afford a living. But now this guy comes and tells us that we should vote William Ruto for the second term because of Talanta Stadium. Sasa tutakalia football zitukimbize moja hadi kwa moja mpaka Singapore. That's what this dude is trying to imagine. Because imagine where hospitals don't have enough medicines. Imagine where we don't have enough teachers. Imagine in a country where we are still struggling with job creation. That's why most of our men are going to die in Russia. But this guy still thinks that we should vote for William Samoei Ruto because of Talanta Stadium. No hospitals, no medicine, but we can get you a VIP ticket in Talanta Stadium. So now we are heading to Singapore. Sisi ni mafala, sindio? Singapore became Singapore because they were so harsh on corruption. They crushed it. But what are we doing? Building the most expensive stadiums in Africa. Not because cement is expensive, but because we know all the deals that happened behind this Talanta Stadium.
See for yourselves. Talanta Stadium is right here. Hii ni noma sana. Mtapenda.
So both the president and this guy have become content creators, telling us the things that they are doing. Why do they need to sell their ideologies to us? How many countries have built first-class, state-of-the-art stadiums and they don't speak about it? You remember when we had football in Qatar, they built how many stadiums? Within a very short span of, right now the US is going to hold the World Cup. How many stadiums do they have? Do they talk about it? They don't speak about it. Why do we build one stadium, one? And then we're going to tell the whole world that we are building stadiums, state-of-the-art stadium that is supposed to take us to Singapore. We're just building an expensive location for selfies. When I look at that, and it's not bad. We want to support talents. But remember, it's not everybody who's going to be a footballer. And we love sports. We want state-of-the-art sports places where people can go and watch sport. But this is not the first priority of Kenya. This is not the priority. The priority right now is a good, affordable living, not affordable housing. Good, affordable living. Nobody is going to get first-class VIP tickets for this Talanta Stadium, which is a good thing for the country. But this is not the reason as to why you should tell us that sisi ni mafala. Because nikiangalia, boy, you look, wendo unakaa fala. Because if you can believe that a stadium is going to take us to Singapore, I mean, how damn can you be? How low can you limbo, my guy? I mean, let me tell you the things that as a country we need, not as an individual. We need better healthcare and working systems that has no confusion. If we can fix that, we are quarter way on road to Singapore. We need to fight and deal with corruption. If we can fight that and make it work, we are almost halfway to Singapore. We need systems that are working, better education system. We need that. We need a better police unit, police service that is serving the people and not the interest of the executive. My guy, if we deal with that, we curb corruption, then we be on our way to Singapore, because Singapore is not en route. It is the way they made their systems work for the betterment of the people of Singaporeans. The Singaporeans right now, they have the best, one of the best quality of living. What do we have? A stadium, Talanta Stadium, my guy. What about the Thika Superhighway? Kibaki built that. He didn't take us to Singapore. What about the other one in Yemejengo na Uhuru that is full of scams and Kenyans are paying until today? Why do we have to pay roads in our own country? So now you're going to tell us about Talanta. My guy, nani ndio fala? So when I look at this, the kind of thinking mentality ya watu wa 2 terms, let me tell you, I'm going to say 1 term na nibaki kuwa fala, because when I look at whatever that is happening, I do not identify with that, because I want to, as much as to identify with the system, but I see things that are designed to be like that because they want poverty to be, on the headlines, because that's how they consolidate power and control the people. The same way watu walikuja akasema watu wa Mandera and all that, watu wakae kwao wasomee kwao. It's not because we don't want or we hate those people. It's because we want their leaders to take developments to their places so that their people can directly benefit. So now, sisi ni mafala. Sisi ni mafala manzeri juu tunaimba 1 term. Mimi nitabaki kuwa fala, walai. Because I know, as much as the Talanta Stadium is a beautiful place and we are not opposing that. It's not like we just come here and oppose every idea. No, it's a beautiful thing. But remember, it's times costly. And the loans that have been taken out on top of that, I hear that at the end of like 15 years, it's going to cost 100 billion. It's going to be the most expensive stadium in Africa. What value is it going to bring apart from, you understand that? I mean, it's not that we don't want these kind of things, but the cost of it, the pain that is going to be paid by even our next generation. So it's not about that we don't see the Talanta. We see it. But what's the story, the success story behind it? What is the pain that is going to inflict on Kenyans who are paying taxes and who we're going to be left paying debts? Boy, you need to see beyond your nose, because I tend to think you cannot see beyond that. Wewe unaonesha tu stadium, wewe unafurahia tu stadium ni supu. Ujui what is the story behind it. You don't even know what this stadium is going to bring on your table. It's not going to create 1 million jobs. It's not going to create 1 million jobs for the people. It's not going to benefit the entire nation. You understand that? Development is good and we want them. But remember, Singapore is not the skyscrapers that are in Singapore. Because how many countries have skyscrapers? Crazy skyscrapers. Dubai got crazy skyscrapers. So it's not about Nairobi. It's also full of big skyscrapers. Like in a Times Tower and the rest. About the infrastructure. It's about the working system. The system that are making people's lives affordable. The fact that there are still millions of Kenya who struggle to put 3-course meals on their table. Don't tell us about Talanta Stadium. Tell us about the things that is going to help the majority of the Kenyans who are living below the minimum wage. We still have 125 people who have accumulated wealth that is equivalent to that of 45 million people. Explain that with your Talanta Stadium. Explain that. The inequality in this government. Then you come here and tell us that sisi ni mafala. Nani ndio fala? Bro, you need to be educated. For real. Because we're ndio fala. Anyway, I'm not angry. I'm just saying. I know you're my bro, but try to think logically. Try to use your brain beyond what you can see, bro. There's always a bigger picture from whatever that you can see. Try to see that. And I'm not saying that you oppose everything, but I'm trying to say use some logic. Try use some logic. Try think. That's why umepatiwa brain manze. Your brain can grow as much as you allow it to grow. But sasa ukifanya ka brain kako kakuweka dogo hivi, how are you going to think beyond that? Anyway, 1 term. Mimi ni fala.
Hivi ndio politicians wetu tufanyia. Come. Ndawajengea barabara. Ona. Ndawajengea barabara. Free education. Ona. The jobs in Germany. Barabara itoke Mandera ikuje. Anyway, you get the point.